You're listening to M.T.V.B. Podcast. Movies, TV, video and board games. This show may contain swearing.
Welcome to a brand new episode of the M.T.V.B. podcast, a podcast that talks about my four favourite subjects. That's movies,
TV shows, video games,
and board games. I'm your host, Anthony, as most people know me as the Ant-Man, and welcome. Obviously, you can tell by the music that this is this year's Christmas episode. Last year, we talked about the top 5 Christmas movies. This year, we're going to be talking about those top 5 board games we'd like to play during the Christmas season. I'm joined by the table by guys that like to talk about board games. Obviously, first we've got the man, the myth, the legend, always the games master himself, Wayne from Board Stupid. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you very much. I've had a busy evening. I raced right here.
He sure did.
From my secret lair.
That is no joke, guys. Literally straight after bed practice. Thank you for coming down, sir.
My absolute pleasure. I'm ready to get festive.
And also, of course, we've got the man behind the meeple minded, the guy that puts the pro and professional game in. Jason, how are you, sir?
I really need a new nickname. I swear to God. And I feel a bit more like Kevin McAllister now with that damn music.
That damn music.
Oh, yes, I am good. Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for coming on the show again.
Always a pleasure.
Obviously, Chris couldn't be with us, so sorry you're not here, Chris, but we really do miss you, and we're hoping to see you again for the next episode if you can make it, mate.
Absolutely.
So, top 5 board games during the Christmas season, guys. How was your list for this one?
It was an interesting one, I'll be honest with you. You gave us a bit of a broad scope, so I was like, you were like, what games do you recommend? What would you play with people over Christmas? You don't have to own it, but luckily, I have a vast and broad board game collection.
True, yes.
So I was like, well, if I just think about board games I'd recommend or play, I actually own these. So it was actually relatively straightforward. I got down to, I think, top 8 or 9. And then getting to the top 5 was a bit of a struggle because I kind of had to boot one out that I think should probably be in there, but we'll come to it.
Honourable mention it then?
It will be an honourable mention, yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
It's one I do really like, and at Christmas it is quite fun, but it's quite group dependent. So
okay.
We'll come to that.
Nice. And Jason, how about yourself, sir?
I struggled a lot, so if you want to give me that one, then
No,
I'll do.
You can't have my list. Screw you, Jason. I want to watch you sweat.
I will be. Wayne will probably attest, having been at my game club last night, how much I have been fretting this list because I don't celebrate Christmas. I don't do anything differently at Christmas. It's a normal day for me, so a lot of these games for me...
Okay, you sound just like Simon.
Yes.
That's right.
Yeah.
I am pretty much talking about games that I would probably just play as a family, because obviously that's what Christmas is to me. It's
absolutely fine, mate. And I still appreciate that you did that, considering you're not the Christmas guy, but you still came for the Christmas episode. That
I may have been on
an achievement for me there, sir.
A few killing rampages in the creation of this list.
You got through the song, so that's the main thing. We got you through the hard part.
Well, this podcast is all about balance, right? We've got the festive spirit and we've got the Grinch.
Tis the season, right?
Tis the season, mate. We need the balance, and I appreciate the balance.
No, we need to get some Home Alone quotes in this episode at some point.
All needs to be right in the force. We need that.
I'm more than happy to take the role of the Grinch.
You got it, mate.
So before we start the episode, guys, obviously we'll do the normal questions, we'll do the top 5s, but before we do that, I would like to just start with a big thank you to the two of you. You've helped me out a lot for this season with the board game episodes. That's what M.T.V.B. has been lacking quite through the last few seasons, is board game episodes. Unfortunately, if I do episodes with my gaming crew, they will just do the same top 5s as myself, so there's actually no point. It's nice to get a bigger, wider variety for the top 5s. Jason, you've helped me out last season. I really appreciate you for doing that and for coming back for season 5. And obviously, Wayne from Board Stupid, thank you guys for coming on and doing these episodes. It's been really appreciated for you to do that.
No, it's always great fun, right? Because we chat about board games anyway, and we've been really lucky recently, and we've got to play quite a lot of games together since Spiel, which has been really an absolute pleasure for me, and it's always a blast just to hang out and chat board games. So given any opportunity to do that, I would do that. Otherwise, I'd be at home I don't know, watching telly or something boring. So
Exactly.
I'd rather come here and just
fucking TV.
fucking.
Who'd have it in a podcast?
I know,
subject?
mate. Oh yeah, I'm not here for the TV and M bit. I'm just stick me in as
Just
a
here for the B.
I'm here for the B, mate. Exactly.
I was insulted that you made me say video games.
Video
I know,
games.
sorry.
I felt dirty.
I know, the last two you've been pretty good with the board game part. I'm so sorry. But and obviously, Chris, you're not here for this one. Again, I appreciate you doing the last two episodes, dude. If you're listening, again, thank you very much. Hopefully we'll see you for season 6.
Absolutely.
Right, so shall we get on with the questions then, guys?
Let's do it. Interrogate me, and I'm ready for a drilling.
Let's do this. So the last...
Wait, what did I say?
For a drilling?
Grilling?
Grilling. A grilling. sir.
A grilling.
Bend me over, Anthony. I'm ready.
It's suddenly turned into a very, very different episode.
It's very festive.
Very festive. I'm afraid you're mistaken. Right, so obviously, Jason, you mentioned that not everyone celebrates Christmas. It's not everyone's cup of tea, of course. But for you guys, you actually enjoy the part where you're getting to spend time with the friends and family over the season to play games, or at least try and get them into games at all, or...
No, I hate people.
Yep. That's why you run a gaming club. Wait, what about you?
That's my alter ego, that is. Yeah, no, all joking aside, I do. I enjoy the extra time with the family at Christmas because I neglect them the rest of the year. And
I literally nearly spat my coke out then, sorry.
No, it's always good fun because it's the one time a year that you can guarantee the non-gaming members of your family are always a bit more willing to actually play a game.
Yeah.
And then you have to announce that I don't actually own any games that you would be willing to play. So we're going to play these ones. And they've already committed by that point.
Good.
So, yeah, that's why I'm more than happy with playing games at Christmas. So,
Yep.
Yeah, very nice. See, I'm a bit of a Christmas nomad, and I don't really have much family that I see over Christmas.
Okay.
And nor does my partner, because they're obviously in another country.
Of course, yeah.
So it's a bit more difficult for us. However, normally we are taken in by a kind and willing family and friends who, and obviously part of that deal is I bring a sack of board games with me, and which is always a pleasure. So this year we're going around my good friends Dan and Sarah's, and they love playing board games with us, and they're going to have their whole family there on Christmas Day. And I said I'm going to bring a bunch of stuff.
So no pressure then to bring the...
No, but I love it. I love it. You give me the chance. So if I need to entertain people, and there's 10 people, it's like none there, people that haven't really played board games, I can bring stuff. I've got stuff for almost anybody. And I've played games with these folks before, like the family, the dads, the mums. It's been quite a success. I even got them to play Secret Hitler when I was on holiday with them in Thailand.
Oh, nice.
Right, that was a success.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, no, I'm thrilled to bits to do it. I love, as Jason said, the extra time off to specifically spend with friends and family, friends specifically in my case. But even if you don't celebrate Christmas, you're going to appreciate the fact that you get extra time to spend with people that you like.
Absolutely,
and there's
yeah.
absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I think, that's something that I would actually say that I would probably add onto what you said there is, for me, I'm quite lucky. My job actually closes down over Christmas. So, unlike the rest of my life, you guys know, my schedule is hectic. It's almost impossible to arrange anything with me. Yeah, and I'm always drained. I'm always tired, And while I pick up when I'm playing games, there's always a little bit of a downer for me because I might not be as fully focused as I could be.
Yeah.
During that Christmas period, I'm off. There's no getting up at 4 a.m.
It's that sense of feeling that you don't have to get up the next morning sort of thing.
I don't have to worry about that. I'm more awake because I've not had to get up so early. I've not done a 10-hour driving day. I'm more alert with the games. I enjoy the games a bit more.
Yeah.
Something to be thankful for, mate. Absolutely something to be thankful for. Yeah, and you get the full, unfiltered, full, fat, unleaded
drilling.
Jason. Yeah, drilling. You get a full-on spanking, mate. You get full-on Jason.
Yeah, I like that as well. It's like when you're on, like Wayne mentioned about being on a holiday and stuff, it's just nice to know that you've got another week off or something, just to take your time with it and not have to rush, feel like, oh fuck, I've got to go to bed in an hour or so. Sort of thing.
Exactly.
But yeah, totally see where you're coming from. With most of the games that obviously we're going to play during Christmas time tend to be party or family games, of course, for the younger audience and stuff. But do you guys ever crack out something else just to change it up a bit? Something that's not a party or family game, try and see if you can get that audience to that game at all.
Well, as someone who doesn't actually like that many party games, full stop,
Yep.
I primarily will break out more games that aren't party games. Family games, not so much, like they will always be part of it. But yeah, I try to steer clear of party games
That's fair.
as much as possible.
Yeah.
Absolutely, yes. I mean, I've had success with things like Ticket to Ride at Christmas and Pandemic, which arguably is a kind of a next step game. I've had success with Photosynthesis at Christmas. I've had success with a few things that aren't, I suppose, they're certainly not party games. They're board games. They're just board games. So, yes is the short answer. But I actually like the opportunity to just test a few things, right? I've managed to get Wingspan to the table with some people that wouldn't normally play something quite that heavy.
Do you ever get like a reaction to it? Because like you bring it out and they've not even heard of it.
Always. Yeah, that reaction is very visceral. They're like, what is this? And also, if there's anything more than sort of 3 components, people freak out. They're like,
Oh yeah.
what is this? This is so complicated.
This doesn't have any dice in it.
It's so complicated. There's like 4 things here to deal with. And I appreciate that, especially if you're not a board gamer. I get it. It looks intimidating. And if there's a rule book that's more than 2 pages, it looks intimidating. So I'm 100% sympathetic to that feeling. And so, but I think I'm so used to teaching people board games. I mean, you break it down and it's pretty easy at that point. But yes, I do. I like to try and bring out something a bit more complex if I can.
Yeah.
But I'll read the room. I'm just happy to play, mate, and hang out.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, you try and sneak in that little one that's, hey, but if you like this, why don't you try this?
Exactly. You sort of get them in with a little bit of crack.
Yeah, let me just get this massive wooden board out for a second. How are you about flipping discs?
Like a dealer, mate. The first baggie is free. and then you're hooked.
And it's usually the best stuff.
Is it the love letter baggie?
Yeah, exactly. That's the baggie, mate. That's a nice one. Yeah, exactly.
Right. So I've kind of always wanted to ask you guys is, have you ever preferred the game that attracts the bigger audience, i.e. bigger players, board games, or do you just prefer something that's like 3 to 4 players? Stick with that.
Joe, that's a very complex question for me. As a player, I actually don't like games that go much above 4. Okay. Mainly because they for the most part have a tendency to, the downtime just becomes a bit too much for me and I start to get bored. If I'm running a game, I am not playing it and I'm running it for a group, I have no problem with the larger games because I know that I can do things to entertain the group that I may not do as a player. So, if I'm running games, I'll happily run large games and I'll make sure that the whole group is having fun the whole time.
But if you're actually in the game...
But if I'm in the game, I tend to like games to cap at about 4 or 5.
Okay.
That's a really interesting question. Okay, so I think there's 2 sides to this particular question. There's the what do I like, and then there is the game dependent bit. So what do I like? I like games at about 3 and 4 people, typically, right? So I like that interaction. There's a little bit more, I suppose, back and forth between your close friends. You can really focus on the game together, and most of my games are geared towards that player count.
Yeah,
right. They just are. I mean, a lot of games are, but specifically my games are geared towards 3 and 4 people. However, that's not to say I don't freaking love 5, 6, 7, 8 player games, but it has to be the right game and it has to be designed for it. Because there are games like Scythe which will play 7. Do I want to play that at 7? Do I bollocks? No, I don't. No, of course I don't want to fucking play that at 7. Same with Root. Root will play 6 players. Do I want to play
Does
Root
it
at 6
really?
players?
I never knew that.
Do I want to do that? No. I'd rather have the drilling. So, no. Absolutely not. But there are games that will play. I mean, heavy games like Unfathomable will do 5 and 6 quite nicely. There are games that will do 7 and 8 very nicely. Things like 7 Wonders specifically will do 7 people with absolutely no downtime. The Great Split apparently will do 5 and 7 people with almost no downtime. Yep. So game dependent, I will have a cracking time, but I will typically not like to play games that aren't really designed for the large player count, even if, in inverted commas, they will play up to 6 people. They fucking don't.
And I think on the game dependent front, this is where we're talking about, party games. Is like they are actually the polar opposite. They play far better.
Better
at
with
the
more
higher player
exactly
counts.
that.
Whereas if you
100%.
usually is like, oh yeah, this party game will play 3 to 11 players. It's shit.
Yes.
At 3.
Yes.
3, 4, and 5. It's terrible, and
I-
you need it to be 6 to 11.
6 to 8, 6 to 11, exactly. And look, I've got plenty of big games that are meant for lots of people, and they work great too. But yeah, definitely game dependent. But I think, given my preference, I think I'm with Jason. I'd rather a smaller group because I think games focus really well on that, and there's a broader selection.
Yeah, exactly. So at the end of season 5, myself and my group are going to do a roundup year episode. We usually would end with the Christmas season, but this is what the episode's for. So we're rounding up our top five movies, video games, and TV shows. Mm-hmm. This is where you guys come in. In no particular order.
Oh,
what games have you really enjoyed this year? It doesn't have to be a top 5. Just throw some stuff out that you've really, really liked this year.
Do you want to go first, or shall I?
And I'll tell you what, I'll stipulate something here. It doesn't have to be a game from 2022. It could be a game from somewhere else.
Just a game that we first played this
year. This year, yeah.
I mean, definitely one that's in there, 100% has to be the 2022 release, which is Flamecraft.
Yeah, okay.
I absolutely love that game. Fantastic game.
And you've just done a review for that as well, so go check that out, guys.
Indeed, yep. What other games? I'm itching, and I believe we're playing it tomorrow. We're going to play Starship Captains tomorrow.
Hell
I'm
yeah.
itching for that one. Heat is another one. I punched it out last night, and I didn't play it because I'm an idiot. That's another one. New games to me this year that
I can shout one out, mate, while you think about
Go for it.
But my spoilers for my year-end roundup. But the first thing that comes to my mind, my game of the year is Starship Captains, 100% without a shadow of a doubt. I love that game so freaking much. You've played it with me, Anne.
I did, yeah.
It's a absolute blast. It's not particularly heavy. It's easy to get to the table. It's fun. It moves quickly. Plays in about an hour. All of the things I like. You do one thing on a turn and it whips around. So that's been an absolute revelation for me. Loved that game. Another one, Heat. So these two things that Jason just mentioned, I've played.
Okay.
And I think they are... yeah, I know. And also, Heat is phenomenal.
Yeah.
We managed to play that twice in recent succession.
Recently,
right?
Absolutely, yeah.
And it's bloody brilliant. I mean, what a freaking game Heat is. I mean, Days of Wonder only come out with one game every 2 years or whatever it is, and it's always a fucking smash hit. Heat is probably the best racing game I've ever played, and it is just fucking wonderful.
Yeah.
Third on the... Have you got one?
I've got a couple, so I'll let you finish off.
I'll do a third one, I'll throw it over. The third one is another one that you've introduced me to, and which is Foundations of Rome.
Yeah, nice. Okay.
I hadn't played that until this year. We managed to play that, I think, 2 or 3 times in succession.
Yeah.
And I think that is such a magical design. Yes, the production is overblown. Yes, that can be a criticism. Yes, there isn't a cheaper version. Maybe there should be. All that aside, Emerson Matsuuchi is a fucking genius, and that game just screams Emerson Matsuuchi. I mean, it's such a beautiful game. It plays kind of like a Century game. It's quick, it's smooth, it's elegant, and it's beautiful. And I love that. I think that's been an amazing game as well that I've played this year. So I'll throw it back over to you, Jason.
Nice. I was just going back through a few lists of the games I've played this year, and this one, I completely forgot that it only came out in the UK this year, which was Art Nova.
Nice, of course.
Very early on this year, so that was another early
UKGE, wasn't it? You got or before then?
I got it just before.
That's right.
I remember you posting it,
yeah, because we obviously played it.
That's right.
Games Expo. I'll do another one. I'll hand over to you. Living Forest.
Living Forest.
Still need to play that.
Do you know? I will concur with you on that one. I think Living Forest is probably, I'll put this on record, the best value release in the last 5 years at least. Like the best value release you can get in terms of, it's 23 quid, and that game is amazing. Yep. It's so good, right? Starship Captains, for example, 50, 60 quid. Is it a better game? For me, probably yes, but for other people, probably not. And there's not much difference in component quality in those two games. Living Forest is it's a freaking bargain at that price, and it's a cracking game. Definitely a highlight. Yeah, absolutely.
And I think my final one that I will go for, and again, it's another new game for this year, UKGE time release, which was Acropolis, Geigernick.
Very nice.
Another very good quality game. Not much to it, obviously, but very good quality game. And again, dirt cheap, 20 quid.
I've got another one. My last one, I guess. I think it's
Please,
is it 5? I can't remember. Anyway, this one, Skate Summer. Managed to play that last week. I think I played that now 3 times, and it's brilliant, mate. I mean, it's basically it's heroin for 30-something-year-old men. Like me. Right, it's like that theme is like that's Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2. And it's got its own soundtrack that they've released with it. It's the board game, and it's so freaking good. The artwork is amazing. It's a Pandasaurus game, so it has that typical production and vibe that you might expect from a Pandasaurus game. It has a great push of luck mechanism, which I like from things like Living Forest or Quacks of Quedlinburg. It has that in it. You're playing tricks to your skateboard, and if you play too many, you might bail and fall off because you've got this little balance marker. Very clever.
Okay.
And then you're sort of using those tricks to traverse around the city and collect, like you would in Tony Hawk's, spray cans, school bells and stuff like that to try and get points. It's magic. It's such a great experience.
So is that game a big inspiration for the board game?
Yes, 100%. Yeah. I mean, if anyone's ever played Tony Hawk's Pro Skater, it's so obviously inspired by and has done a cracking job of implementing at least that to some extent. But the board game itself is just wicked. And more to the point, is that designer's first ever board game release, which is amazing. It's such a great game. It's a solid Euro strategy game with an amazing theme. Exactly the same with P.T.B. Hofgaard and Starship Captains, his first ever game ever released. And what a design.
Yeah, I was
smashed out the park.
Yeah, I was actually going to say this year has been an absolute cracker for first-time designers. You obviously had Matthew Wigg with Arc Nova, as you said, Peter Hofgaard.
Yes.
Who was it who did Skate Summer?
Randy something or other. I can't remember his name, sadly. But
that's 3...
Randy Ryman, I want to say.
High-ranking board games that have come out this year, all from brand new designers.
Phenomenal. Absolutely
fantastic,
phenomenal. Yeah. So
this year has been, for me, it's been a real return to form. After two and a bit years of uncertainty through the pandemic and things not being released and things getting delayed. We had very few decent Kickstarters in that time as well. This year has just sort of come guns blazing out of the door. We've got the return of the board game conventions and they've gone ham on those.
Yeah, they really have.
You've got your Deal with the Devil, the Wolves, all of these amazing games are released at Essen.
God, I managed to play the Fox Experiment at Essen, and that was unbelievably good fun. It's such a cracking game. That's gonna be a smash. So I think, from my recollection, I think I said Heat, Foundations of Rome, Starship Captains, Living Forest, and Skate Summer. Just off the top of my head, I think. My highlights.
Because I kind of put you on the spot on this question, so I was like...
How about you, Anne? I'm going to put you on the spot. What about you, hey? Huh?
Well, a majority of them are they're pretty much near enough the same. I mean...
he wrote the questions.
I wrote the questions, but I didn't write any freaking answers.
That's true. He has the questions.
Near enough the same, because I pretty much played near enough the same as what you guys have. A couple of mentions was obviously a match, because that's a franchise I've really got into and really enjoyed. One of the actual picks on this question is actually in my top 5, so I'll mention it later.
Absolutely.
And because I kind of went off of it for a while because we hadn't brought it to the table as much, but I've kind of gone back to it this year, is Dice Throne with the Marvel version of it.
Bit Dice Throne,
because I actually do like the other 2 seasons they did. But like I said, because it hadn't got to the table, I actually sold it in the end, sold them both because... Yeah. I kind of done this thing that Jason brought up in his one of his episodes. Like, it didn't come to table for over a year. It's just no point in keeping it. I'll just try and sell it. Whatnot.
That's fair enough, mate.
But then I did kickstart this, and hopefully we might bring them back because people are getting back interested into that. I can't really. You've pretty much did everything else that I was going to do. Yeah. So I played a lot more games than I did last year. I'll give you that.
Good.
Yeah,
you played a ton, man.
I wouldn't have done if you guys, again, don't invite me, or if I don't come to, conventions and stuff like that as well. So, again, very thankful to you two for showing me these. And because your podcast at the end of the day is how I get my news from you guys. It's like, I don't know this shit happens unless it's something that I follow, like Cthulhu, for example, or Marvel United. That's the only stuff, because it's stuff I'm interested in. And then you guys tell me, and this is coming out. And you practically make my credit card go higher and higher. So, thank you for that, guys.
No, it's always a pleasure to have your company, mate. And to be fair, we have had we've had some good gaming moments. We really have.
Yeah.
Just, both individually and as a team.
And they've been cracking games. Like Ark Nova, I love. Not sure about the scoring system, but I do like Ark Nova.
God. I'm so sorry. I just need to throw in a mention there. I can't believe I didn't say the King's Dilemma.
Oh, of course, because you're playing at the moment, aren't you? Yes, yeah.
I suppose partly because we haven't finished it, but oh my fucking God. I played that for the first time this year. We're still playing it right now. We're right near the end. I think we've got maybe one session left, maybe two. Oh, God, it's so good to be bad.
And you got to go for the Queens?
We might, but we'll probably get it at retail.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. But that, cracking game.
Yeah, I've obviously you guys have been playing that at my club.
At the club, mate, yeah.
I've been loving watching you guys play it because you get proper into it. You make lots of noise.
It's wicked.
Have people turning around from their games.
Sorry, I do want to mention one more, and it has been out for quite a while now, but this year was the first time I got to play it, and it's probably my favourite Star Wars board game ever, and that's Star Wars Rebellion. I fucking love that game.
I have it, and
It's
I
such a good game.
I never get to play it. That might sadly end up in the sell list if I can't get it to the table.
Yeah. I think we mentioned that I'd like to play it with you at some point, but that game, it's a shame it's only 2-player best.
That's it,
of course. I mean, you can go to 4, but
what's the point?
That game is just,
it's cracking, isn't it? It's really good.
Thank you, Karen, if you're listening to let me play that. So the last question, guys, I'm going to throw you on the spot again. Is there anything you're looking forward to next year? Or do you have any Kickstarters that you're looking forward to next year?
Yes and yes. But, okay, I'll throw something out there. I am currently waiting for, and it should be on my doorstep, March or April, and I'm so excited for it, a game called Fractal Beyond the Void.
Oh, okay.
And it is a 4X style space game, but a Euro game.
Okay.
So much less intense than something like Twilight Imperium 4, and will play in a much shorter time. But it just looks so
But just
good.
as big, or?
No, I don't think so. But it's kind of similar in vibes. You've got like hex-based space exploration, but there's also a bit of engine building as well. So think of something like, I don't know, maybe a little bit of Scythe or a little bit of Wingspan, but without the cards. You've got a little like an engine to build by upgrading your faction, which will then allow you to do more things in the galaxy. So very much a Euro game. And I'm so excited for that. The production is insanely good. And I'll show you after this podcast just a couple of pictures of it.
Sure.
But I am so freaking excited for that. Yes. Another one I'm super excited for is the collector's edition of Robinson Crusoe. That's like a year late at this point, but it should be there next year, very early. I think February next year it's coming. So Robinson Crusoe is a legendarily difficult, legendary cooperative game.
Say that again.
A legendarily difficult, legendary cooperative game.
Legendary drilling.
A legendary drilling. Yeah, hard to speak with balls in your mouth. So there's but it's a legendary game, legendary co-op game, and they've redone it, reprinted it, and redesigned it, rebuilt it with Awaken Realms. So it's normally a Portal Games release. Polish company, they've done a bunch of great stuff, but they're doing a co-op. A co-release with Awaken Realms, who are known for the minis and etc. Absolutely, and that is going to be phenomenal. So they've redone all of the scenario book and all of that great stuff. And I love a co-op. I love a brutally difficult co-op, and this is that in spades. So I am very excited for that. What else am I looking for? I'm also looking forward to Tiny Epic Vikings. I funded that, and I think that'll be a fun one. I think that looks like a return to form for the Tiny Epic series. There was a few that I went, but this one looks actually brilliant. So dead keen for that. And I think there is one more, but I'll pass it over to Jason while I try and remember what the fuck it was.
Yeah, I just spent the entire time looking at my Kickstarter backing.
Is that time to look up?
Yeah, as it turns out, most of the things I've backed this year have actually been expansions to games I already own. So I'm looking forward to the Die of the Dead expansion. I've got the Core Quest expansion coming for the family. One game I'm really looking forward to was one that was on Kickstarter not that long ago, which was actually Age of Comics: The Golden Years.
Yes.
Yeah, that looked good. I saw that as well.
Really, really looking forward to that.
Did you back that?
I have backed it.
Sweet.
Yeah, I think I went all in on that one. There's a couple of other games. You Look, Hijacked, and the latest one I've backed was Hero, the emergency board game. And short of going through my entire back history, which is not good, there's one other game that sticks in my mind that I'm really looking forward to. It's being released around UKGE. I actually think they're going to release it at UKGE, which will be nice, which is the new tabletop miniatures game from Atomic Mass Games, Star Wars Shatterpoint, which is based in the Clone Wars and the comics. really excited for that one. The miniatures look absolutely.
I hope they come painted. They look
stunning.
fucking nice painted.
They are not coming painted.
Oh, what?
But yeah, the other big one that again, like King's Dilemma, I don't know why I forgot this. This should have been top of my list. Is Arcs. It's the new Leather Games production. The guys behind Root.
Yes.
Okay.
I funded that to like the maximum possible value.
I bet.
Because I love Root. It's one of my favourite games of all time, if not my favourite game of all time. And I love it so much that me and Nick did the print and play of the first Arcs like open rules release, which we did, and we had a great time. We did a podcast on it. You can check it out. And it's changed so much since then. The development has gone wild. And so I'm so keen to see how they've changed it, what the game feels like now, because it looks so much better and it was already good and so much cleaner and just looks freaking awesome. I mean, yeah, Arcs is going to be great. It's Leather Games, Cole Worley, amazing designer, but in space. So, and I love a space.
Interesting.
Yeah, it uses trick taking as a mechanism to like, in a really clever way. I mean, I think those guys are geniuses. So I cannot wait for that.
Yeah,
Nice.
I think 2023 has got some big boots to fill.
Yeah,
I didn't think we were going to say it. I genuinely had not particularly high hopes for 2022, but
There's been some bangers, mate.
it has really produced some bangers. So 2023 got some big boots to fill.
That's it. You've got to top up the next one, haven't you? See what they can do. I just want to go back to question 4 because there's another game I forgot, and you own it. Endless Winter.
I
really enjoyed that. I have to admit, I really enjoyed it, and I need to play that game again. I really did I really think that was a good game. A lot better than I thought it was going to be.
Why wasn't that on my list of things I said? There's so many. Yeah. I played that again. When did I play that? Friday Gone. Right.
Yeah.
So, sorry, a long time ago as you listen to this.
In a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah, exactly. Galaxy far, far away. But as we're talking, Friday Gone. And had an amazing time. I mean, introduced Tom to it the first time.
Nice.
Tom had never played it before. And introduced my friends Jav and Eric to it, and they'd never played it either. So 3 new players, and it's a big Euro. It's a big, heavy, complex Euro. But oh my God, is it so much fun. It's such a great game. So many options. Really amazing how it all interacts and is smooth, doesn't fall over at any point. It's a brilliant game, and that's a cracking shout.
Yeah, I need to
I'm
get
glad
back.
you enjoyed that.
I mean, I lost terribly, but I after that I was thinking I need to go back and hunt more animals or get me up on the tomb even more or something.
Dude, it's the sign of a good game, right?
Yeah.
When you can't stop thinking about it.
Exactly.
So, like, you play it and you're like, I should have done this. I should have done that. I think that's a real good sign.
I did that with Ark Nova and Flamecraft and whatnot. It's just like, I just needed one more piece for Flamecraft, and I would have fucking won that game. Damn you, Aaron.
Absolutely. But
that
was Paleo Americans that's probably, God, do I say that? One of the best games I picked up from Spiel. I was going to say the best, but then Starship Captains, and that's great.
Yeah, topped it.
Very different games, but
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm out of questions there, guys. If nothing else, we can go straight to the 5. Do you want to throw anything at all?
Is there anything else I want to throw in? Do you know what? There's probably a bunch of stuff I've forgotten, which is why you should listen to our year-end roundup, which we're going to do at some point. So
I was about to say, you have caught me off guard, because obviously we also do a year-end roundup. I've done no prep for that so far.
Well,
I
the
can't
thing
even
is that
remember
you've thrown
what's
them in
coming
off
out.
the top of your head. So I'm sure,
Yeah.
guys, if you're interested, please go and listen to their podcast.
And there will
because
be-
they
yeah.
do some really good yearly roundups. I mean, the start of this year, you've done some really good top 10s.
we
didn't
did
you?
the top 10 of all time, which we're going to do next year. So
Yeah.
the annual special. So we'll do
And
that again.
hopefully you'll be on episode 200 by next year, Jace.
That's right, mate. The way you churn that out, mate.
I don't know. I'm not sure what. No, it'd be the year after, but it will be 3 years next year.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
So let's do it then. Should we go to top 5s?
do it.
Let's do it.
Ready?
It's time for a top 5.
Right, so obviously on this one, this top 5,
I'm sorry.
the last 2 episodes I did with these guys, we did it from our very own collection. This top 5 does not have to be from a top 5, but if yours is all from your collection, not an issue whatsoever. And obviously the same rules with clashes. If we clash, just carry on with normal, and we'll come back to you on your turn for that clash, all right?
You got it, mate.
Number 5.
Number 5.
Anyone like to go first?
Wayne. Only because he's literally trying not to laugh into
I
the
know.
mic.
I'm here trying to corpse Jason to kind of make him laugh into the microphone. He's doing exactly the same to me, like making stupid faces.
Just do the Jason pose.
Oh my God, it's so That sounds amazing. Oh my god. Is that what the rupees?
What a maneuver that was!
Oh my god. Sorry. Okay, so
The
my
rupees are scattered.
my number 5 is a board game, not a party game.
Okay.
Although you can argue either way, but for my money, it's board game. It's a game in the vein of something like Dixit, but it's not Dixit. So this is Mysterium.
Oh, yeah.
Mysterium will play, I think it's up to 7 players, and I'm sure someone on the internet will correct me if I'm wrong, which is a lot, so you can get your whole family around the table. The number of players really doesn't impact the game much at all, and it will play 5 and 6 very happily indeed. In fact, very well, 5 and 6. And the idea of Mysterium is one player is a ghost, so to speak, who has like what is essentially a DM screen in front of them. The rest of the players play psychic mediums, and there's been a murder in the house and the haunted mansion, and they're there to investigate it. And as the ghost, you're trying to get the psychic mediums to guess who the murderer was, where the murder took place, and what the murder weapon was. Kind of like Cluedo. So you can kind of sell it to the family that way, right? Like Cluedo is a classic game. Everyone knows Cluedo. This is that with a completely different spin on it. So if you can sell that, brilliant. And as the ghost, you need to give the psychics visions in the form of these really vague, beautifully illustrated cards. These big, oversized kind of tarot cards with like amazing artwork on. And say, for example, there's like, I don't know, a few weapons down there which are listed on cards, and the weapons will be on the table. There'll be like a knife, there'll be like a pair of scissors, there'll be a gun, there'll be a baseball bat or whatever. And as the ghost, you'll have a hand of cards, and there'll be like various colours and shapes, and you're trying to somehow, through interpretation, give the psychics the clues that will lead them to the right answer. So you might give them a yellow card that has, I don't know, little sharp edges on it, or little or teeth, and they might look at that and go, well, okay, the knife could be the knife because, you know, it's kind of sharp and there's little teeth on here. But it could be the gun because the gun card's got a yellow background. So I'm trying to guess which one is the right one. It's super smart. You as the ghost know the answer, obviously. It's behind the screen. Very, very smart. It's a brilliant, brilliant game.
I never knew you owned that.
I own it.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a new one. It was gifted to me,
Oh.
which is very, very lovely, as a matter of fact. So, and I've made immediate use of it, and I've played it a couple of times already, and it's fabulous. It's one I've had on this for a while, and I think it's beyond a party game. It is a board game. But if you've ever played anything like Dixit, I think it's that, but something a bit more.
A bit more to it.
And I like the theme more, frankly.
Yeah.
So, have you played Mysterium or anything like it, or Dixit or anything like that?
If memory serves, I've played Mysterium once in the past, a fair while ago. I think it was a Halloween game that we played once.
Okay. Similarly, there's games like Deception Murder in Hong Kong, which I also own, and it's a similar thing. You have one player that must remain silent and get other players to guess something based on vague clues. And it's just fabulous. And that is my number 5.
Nice. Would you like to go next, or would you like me to go?
Yeah, I'll happily go next. So, little bit of context with my list. I have done what you guys have done in the past, actually. I've broken my list down into categories.
Okay. Nice.
As opposed to being a top 5 like I usually would do. Which tells you how difficult this list was for me. So, I'll start off with, I guess, what would be the first category and first stereotype, which will be games for adults at Christmas, I guess.
Yeah.
So we'll go for a party game, and I'm going to cheat a little bit and have 2 games in one here because it's basically the same game. So I'm going to go for Trial by Trolley and Joking Hazard.
Trial by Trolley, I love.
It's the Cyanide and Happiness, guys.
Cyanide and Happiness. Obviously, Joking Hazard was their first game.
Yep.
Trial by Trolley was the follow-on. They are pretty much the same game. One's a co-op, one's not.
I fucking love Trial by Trolley. It's such a great game.
You know, think of Cards Against Humanity. It's in my personal opinion, a better version of that. It's open to
definitely.
A lot more. Joking Hazard is probably closer to it in the sense of you're playing cards and there's a judge, but you're creating a comic strip, which is really fun. There's a lot more interpretation that comes from it. And then Trial by Trolley, and you know Trial by Trolley, you have 2 teams of people with a judge, and you have to work with your team to create essentially a comic strip, and then the judge has to decide which people he wants to kill.
Yeah.
Basically, which track does he want to take?
Is he going to run
down,
over? Yeah.
And it's kind of cool. I like that one probably a little bit more than Joking has it, because I like the dynamic of the fact of you have to play a card down. It's like, okay, well, I'm going to put Hitler on this track because you want to kill Hitler, but then the opposing team have to put a card on there which is something that he wouldn't want to kill. So it's like, Hitler may well be on that track, but your family could be right behind him.
Yeah.
It's like, well, I don't really want to kill my family, but I really should kill Hitler.
Kill Hitler, yeah.
And it's like, I love that sort of...
The moral dilemma.
The moral dilemma. It adds a lot of fun to the game. It's probably, in my opinion, the best party game out there that I would personally play.
Right.
Doesn't put it particularly high up on my list. I don't rate party games that much.
Yeah.
But that is the one.
But for you to say that, you have to say something, right?
You have much to learn, young Padawan.
I get so into that game. That's why I'm smiling, right? Because there was one time where it was something like, oh, you kill yourself, but a superhero would kill you if you take this track. And I convinced him this story that, that you'll grow old and Batman will come for you whilst you're sitting by a fireplace and whatnot. And because I told the story so well and so effectively, he didn't pick my track. So I was like, yes!
That's the thing, it's because you've got to sell it as well.
Yeah,
That's
exactly.
And the other thing is that there's a little cheat. Anyone who does get to play this game with me, Chad Kroger is a card in that deck. Amazing. If that card is on that track, I will go down that track and he will die. I don't care what else is on it.
We all know you're secretly a Nickelback fan. Don't act like this, man. Come on,
mate. You were humming. This is how you remind me as I came.
But I'm not paid. I need to try Draken Hazard because I've not tried that one.
Yeah, well, I'll get Draken Hazard to the tail. I've got all the expansions for it as well.
Is that the one that you had the R-rated version of it or something?
Yes. Yeah. Well, I mean, the whole game is R-rated version, but yeah, it's got
like an extreme version.
It's actually got an officially licensed Pornhub expansion.
Ah, that's the one. That's what I was thinking.
That's. Mate. I was going to say so. I don't even know what to say. It's a
genius. An officially licensed Pornhub expansion. Joking Hazard, Trial by Trolley.
Good choice.
Mic drop.
Mic drop, mate. That's all you need. I'm leaving.
Mic drop.
This, mate.
My number 5 has already been mentioned. Short but sweet, Deception Murder in Hong Kong.
What a great game, mate.
Yeah, I mean, it's what brings more people to the table than a fucking murder mystery.
Absolutely.
I mean,
it's a proper murder
you mentioned
mystery.
it earlier, like the days of Cluedo, like when people back in the day were, looking up their MB games and picking out Cluedo.
Yes.
You wanted to find out who it was. You wanted to find out what this, what murder weapon it was. With this, it's essentially near enough the same thing, if you would, or so you're given all the evidence and stuff like that. But
it's essentially a social deduction game, right? But what I love, I think it's, for my money, one of the better ones.
Yes,
if not the best one. I think it's just excellent. Deception Murder in Hong Kong is amazing. It has that vibe like Mysterium or Dixit, where you have one person that must stay silent and give people sort of vague clues, but it's done in a really, really clever way. You have like a bunch of little cardboard tiles, which will be location of crime, and you have to put a little bullet marker down, and it's not like really obvious. It'll be it might be in the park, or it'll be in an office. And in front of every other player, there's like a bunch of different items. And the other players are trying to guess who might be the murderer. And I love the whole social deduction side of it a bit as well. So
I love the 30-second limit as well to try and explain it's not you.
State your case.
It's like, it's in a park, but why does your card have a swing on it? It's not me, I swear.
It's not me, I swear, officer. I was only there smoking crack. I wasn't there killing anyone.
And everyone's clearly throwing their badges at you going, it's him.
Do you have Deception Murder in Hong Kong?
No, that's the one I don't have on my list. Yeah, exactly.
Murder in Hong Kong is an amazing game. And it would have made my list, except I think it's slightly more involved than something like Mysterium, because you have the whole social deduction side of it where everyone closes their eyes and blah, blah, blah. And there's different roles. And but I think it's an amazing game and a worthy choice.
Nice.
Very good.
Short but sweet. That was my number 5. We'll go to number 4.
Number 4.
Back to you, sir. Your number 4.
My number 4 is probably Czech Games Edition's biggest selling game. Know what it is?
Lost Runes?
No, God no, mate. Not by millions of copies. Codenames.
Oh, fuck. I forgot it's them.
CGE, man.
Yes.
They do Codenames.
I actually own that game as well. I don't think of that.
Also, designed by Vlada Kvatel, who also designed Mage Knight, and he has the most ridiculously broad game design. Mage Knight is about the heaviest game you could ever play.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
it's brutal.
Yeah.
It's really difficult,
And
hard
then
to learn.
then you've got Codenames.
Then you've got Codenames. What a smart guy to be able to do those two things in one brain. Anyway, Codenames is an amazing game. It's a team-based party game where you are essentially trying to get your own team to guess words that are laid out on the table. There'll be a bunch of words laid out on the table. I think it's 25. And I suppose as the head spy, we'll call it, I will have in front of me a card that no one else can see. And it will have the positions of all of the words that I need my team to guess. But I can't just, be as obvious as, say something really, related to the word giraffe. I'll be like, oh, it's tall animal. No, you have to try and link words together and give a clue that will tie them together. It's really, really smart. Say, for example, if you've got the word burger and the word, beef. You might have you might say McDonald's and then say two. McDonald's for two. And they'll be like, okay. The word McDonald's. And there's two words here that's something to do with McDonald's. Maybe it's burger, maybe it's beef. And if they get it right, brilliant. However, the other head spy has got their own card with their own sort of positions on it. And if you accidentally choose the wrong one, you might choose your opponent's words, and then they'll get a point. Really an amazing game. It's an absolute smash hit. And at this point, there are so many versions of Codenames.
Yeah, exactly.
There's Codenames freaking for two people. There's
Disney
Codenames.
Marvel.
There's Marvel. I'm sure there's a Star Wars one. Or if there isn't, there will be at some point.
Yeah.
It's sold a bucket load, and rightly so. It's a cracking family game. You can play that with a ton of people. You can have 2 teams of 5 or whatever, and it works great at lots of people.
Isn't there like a double agent in that? If you flip him, it's game over straight away or something.
As well, yeah, there's like the deadly double agent.
That's it.
If you somehow, as the head spy, fuck up so bad that you give someone a clue that makes them pick that word, which is the double agent word, then you lose.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit of jeopardy in there. But, maybe in the beef burger and McDonald's analogy, maybe the double agent word was bun. Right.
Yeah.
You don't know that. It could be. And they'll be like, oh, McDonald's for 2, maybe bun. And they'll pick
Burger
that.
bun,
Game
yeah.
over. Exactly. So, anyway, brilliant game. Codenames, loads of themes. Whatever your thing that you like, there's probably a Codenames of it. Great party game. Great family game. Plays with loads of people. Perfect for Christmas.
Good shot.
Cheap as well.
I completely forgot CG did that. Yeah.
That's my number 4.
Nice.
That's why I'm the games master, mate.
Is it? That is why, mate. That is why.
The ironic thing, right, is I've literally, I think it was last week, watched a video from Czech Games Edition where they were following the process of making a board game, which was fucking Codenames. And I forgot that they made fucking Codenames.
Yes, mate. But that's their big seller.
Yeah, it is indeed. Yeah, very, very, very good choice. And as you were talking about that, I was kicking myself because I've just thought of another game that I would have actually had in my number 5 position. So, fuck.
It'll be an honourable mention. There you go.
But it'll now be an honourable mention. So, I'm going to stick with my list. Number 4 is the category of games I would play with the kids and family games. And this one qualifies because it was out just before last Christmas. So, I did get to play it last Christmas. I know that it's going to be on the table this Christmas. It's been on one of my lists before. It's my little boy's favourite game, which is Cora Quest.
Nice, man. That's I hear that's so good as well. Like, it's a great family game.
It's a really, really good game. And the reason this one's made, it's not because of the game itself. It's actually because he's now played all of the missions. He's now writing stories himself.
Wow.
Using the core game mechanics. So I know, I've got him this weekend, and I know he's going to be working to create a story that's going to be Christmas based.
Nice.
To play over Christmas.
When
I have him over
a little
the full
scenario.
Christmas period. So it's actually going to be a Christmas game, even though it's not in the base game. It's going to be played as a Christmas game. He's going to come up with all of that imagination.
He's going to be a DM.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's going to be a DM. He's going to create the story. He's going to really enjoy it. And that, for me, is what Christmas is actually about.
Absolutely.
You know, it's not about the commercialism. It's not about the presents or anything like that. It's about spending time with your family and having a good time. And that's exactly what he's going to do.
What a beautiful thing, Jason. That's lovely.
That's really nice, man.
I love that,
yeah.
mate.
That is why that one's my number 4.
Nice.
Great choice. And what a lovely reason.
My number 4 is a game called Snakes. Does anyone know of it or heard of it or played it at all?
Used to play that on the phone,
Snakes?
didn't
Snakes.
I know that name.
Do you know the name? He sounds like a snake.
Is that from Home Alone?
It is,
It
yeah.
is, right?
It is. We've got Home Like Great there, guys. So yeah, Snakes. Snakes is essentially 2 games in one. It is a quiz game and a social deduction game at the same time. Basically, what you do is at the start of the game, you have a tile flip up, which is going to be your character. You're either going to be a human, you're going to be a snake, or you're going to be the mongoose of truth.
Incredible. I love it.
Exactly, right? So obviously, you keep the tile to yourself, and what you do is you have a card in front of you, and it will say a question. And it will be like Steve Jobs created something first before the iPod. A toaster, a computer, a laptop, whatever, yeah? Okay? So everyone will close their eyes. The snakes will open their eyes, and the active player will flip the card over. It has the answer on it, okay? They see the answer, you flip it back. So everyone will now open their eyes. So now the snakes have to try and convince the player to try and convince them the wrong answer. Okay, so they know it's answer B, for example. So they've got to try and convince them it's either A, C, or D. And that's why I love the beauty of this, because you've got to try and do it without, obviously, knowing, you're sussing yourself out that you're a snake.
Yeah.
Okay? Because you will earn points for every person that gets the wrong answer. Obviously, you've got one person you already trust because he's a mongoose of truth. And that's how it essentially goes. It goes for 6 rounds. Humans obviously win points if they get the right answer. Snakes if they do. But it's also trying to, guess who you can trust, as well as like, Wayne's, he's got full knowledge of, technology. He knows how it works. Surely he knows what Steve Jobs did before the iPod. But do I, though? Because is he trying to convince me it's this, you fucking bastard?
Yeah. Also, yeah, Steve Jobs invented the dildo.
There you go, see?
Yeah, exactly.
I'm convinced.
It was called the Big
D.
Job.
Yeah, so a great...
You're really into the idea of that drilling today, aren't you?
Mate, I might be horny.
And he's sending quite a lot closer to you than he is to me, mate. So good luck with that one. So yeah, literally picked it because it's a nice little quiz game and a nice little social deduction game, all into one. Good times had by all. Number 3s.
Number 3.
Jason's still cracking up there.
Jason, touch me. Touch me.
I want to go home.
Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. Number 3.
Number 3, sir.
It's a family show.
Number 3. It's not really, no, it's not.
It's not a family show. My number 3, I think, would actually be cracking. For some reason, a lot of my stuff is crime-based. Anyway, this is another one. Number 3 was a Spiel des Jahres winner. I want to say 2020 or last year. It could be great with kids, great with families, super easy. It's kind of like Where's Wally, but a very crime-based version. Any guesses?
Is it the micro thingy?
Micro, macro, crime city.
Micro, macro. Yeah.
Micro, macro, crime city is an absolutely fantastic, super lightweight game. And it's an award winner. Like, the first thing that you need to know, it won the Spiel des Jahres. Mm-hmm. That's the first thing that needs to put it at the top of your list. The second thing, it's a wonderfully fun activity. The game is kind of light, very, very light, in fact, but it's just a brilliant implementation of something that we all kind of know. And again, easy to get to the table at Christmas. Remember Where's Wally?
Yeah.
This is that, but like extra.
A game.
Extra, right? More and really cool. You get this absolutely enormous map, right? And it has like loads of tiny little people on it and loads of scenarios. And then, as well as this giant map, you get, I think it's 15 different crimes to solve. And the crimes take the form of a little envelope of cards. And the envelope of cards is like a list of clues. They'll be like, find the guy that's swimming with the fishes. And you'll go and look at where the sea sort of area of the map is. And you'll see a guy that's, bobbing around dead. And then it will say like, where was he last? And then you go and sort of track back where he was last. And they'll be like, but who was the murderer? And how did he get killed? And where did he get transported? It'll be like questions like that. Eventually, over the 10 or so cards that it takes to solve the crime, takes like 20 minutes, you'll have this like sort of full story and you'll solve it. And it's really, really rewarding. The brilliant thing about the map is it's not just space, i.e. just loads of different locations. It's also time. So you'll see the same characters sort of repeated throughout the map at different stages of their journey. So maybe in the top left of the map, you've got the theatre. The bottom right of the map, you've got the river or whatever it is. You might have the murderer. You'll trace him all the way back to the theatre in the top left, and then later on he'll appear somewhere else in the map, maybe buying a knife. Then you'll trace him a little bit further down the map, and he's getting in a car. Then you trace the car that he got in, that will appear somewhere else further down the map, like outside the victim's house waiting.
Yeah,
and then you'll see him you'll stab the guy, and then you can trace the whole story. So it's both locations and time. It's genius.
But it's so well done that when you look at the map and you just pinpoint an individual character without reading it, you've got no context, so it just looks like a normal person.
Exactly.
But that same person, as you said, will appear about 10 different times.
10 different times in different scenarios, and it will form a cogent timeline of that character's journey through the city. Amazing game, really well done, great for families, actually brilliant for kids, despite the sort of gory theme. There is a kids version that you can buy called All In. It's brilliant. You can pick it up, I think, 15 quid or so.
Yeah, it's not expensive.
It's good. Brilliant. Yeah, really, really good game. They've got a new version out as well called Full House. No, Full House was the family one. All In is the new one. Yeah. A worthy winner of the award. Great family game. Great Christmas game. Yeah. Probably play with a smaller group, but if you've got kids around, 5, 6 kids, you can play that together and be like, "Oh, can you find this guy?" And they'll all be looking around the map excitedly. And yeah, I can see that. And
I would say as well, because without giving too much away of the map, it's a black and white map.
Yes.
So once you've done all of it,
colour it in. Exactly.
Give it to the kids. Go
colour
wild.
in.
Nice.
Colour
exactly.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Really good.
Exactly. Perfect for that. Yeah. Great thought. Yeah,
really, really good game. I've not got around to playing it properly. I've played it once.
Good fun,
I did one mission, and it was so much fun. Only takes about, 20 minutes
20 minutes per mission-ish. Yeah, exactly. The missions have difficulty ratings as well. There's easy ones and there's difficult ones. Gives you about a nice, generous amount, like 15 in the box. And once you're done with it, you don't ever tear anything up or write anything, so just pack it up and give it to a friend as another gift.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I suppose you could play it again, but you kind of... I'd leave it a little while, because obviously
But it's a perfect thing to then give to another family member to play. So that's my number 3, Micro Macro Crime City.
Yeah, very, very good.
Nice. I still need to play it, so I might give that a go.
Give it a go, mate.
Yeah, please.
Definitely.
Jason.
Okay, what are we on now? Number 3. Number 3, right, okay. This is the first of my all-rounder category. And with this one, it's a nice, easy-to-teach and fun game. It's a dexterity game, and I know you know this game because you've got it, and that is Kabuto Sumo.
Oh, nice.
I've heard of it. I've never played it.
Oh, yes. Really, really good game.
Wow.
So simple. Essentially, you get yourself... It's actually quite a nice production as well,
absolutely,
isn't it?
Yeah.
You get yourself a nice little sort of punch board sumo ring, which you have lots of little wooden pieces in it, and you get 2 essentially bug tokens. And the idea is you're taking pieces, pushing them onto the board, and the idea is you want to push the opponent out.
I see.
Much slower version of Crocodile.
Much slower version of Crocodile. But then there's obviously you're playing as, I guess, cheese-tastic wrestlers as well. Cause you've got the Pebble is in there, and he happens to have a championship belt because he's the people's champ.
I see.
But that's the thing, is that's also another playable piece when you do a special ability. Is I'm playing the people's belt as an extra piece to push that onto the board.
Or Cactus Jack's got the massive cactus or something.
Exactly, Cactus Jack's got a huge cactus, so that can push things a long, long way. But obviously the other thing is you have a finite amount of stuff.
Right.
You start the game with just 3 pieces. One large...
One large, 2 small.
That's it. 1 large, 2 small. If you run out, game over. You can't do much. Yeah. So the idea is you kind of need to... You want to get the opponent out, but also anything that falls
pieces
off...
out. You claim.
So, I'm not going to go after pushing Ant off first. I push this off so that I actually knock off
use that.
three other things. So I've spent 1, but I've actually gained 3.
And then you can use those to push other stuff off.
And then on your next turn, you can then do that.
Cool.
And also it comes with a really nice blocking mechanism in the sense of, well, if I've done that, I can see that Ant's not got that many pieces left. So if I've just pushed the only ones that are easy on the edge off, he's now got to try and get that off it.
It's so tactical for the smallest board ever, isn't it?
Exactly. It's tiny. It genuinely, my tablet is sitting in front of me. That's bigger.
Really?
Than the board.
Wow.
It is really, really small.
Nice.
So, really, really good fun. Great for families. Kids will love it because things fall and they make noise.
Yeah.
Because they're nice, thick wooden pieces.
Nice chunky, yeah.
Nice chunky pieces. and there's that competitive edge, which, let's be honest, kids love that.
Yeah.
Adults love that.
Yeah.
And it's a nice, easy theme. I don't, it's
Easy
not
to play as well.
It's not a Christmas theme. It's not Halloween
Do you know
theme. It's some bugs where you play as a shit beetle.
It's one thing.
It was big dung piece.
Yeah.
It's one thing I don't have on my list, which is a dexterity game, and a dexterity pick is an amazing pick for Christmas. That's a nice. It's the reason I don't have it on this list. I already mentioned it on a prior list, which was Men at Work. That would be
yes, of course.
a nice honourable mention. It is another dexterity game, but I think a dexterity game is an easy sell for Christmas.
How does that work? Men at Work at Christmas? Surely they'd be off work.
I guess so. Men off work. Men at work. They're working.
Men off work. What's this game? How many pints can they drink at a pub?
No, they're getting triple time, mate. That's
How many ladies can they whistle at?
But yeah, that's going to be fun. Kabuto Sumo.
I can see it right up there. I'd like to try that out. That sounds good.
Yeah, definitely, man. Please. And we need to try Men at Work as well.
We'll do it.
Yes. My number 3 was a game I got to play this year. Was a bit skeptical about it because, again, it's so much hype over a game. You always, when you play it, you think to yourself, is it worth the hype?
Yep.
I can easily say this was. I really enjoyed it. And I picked up at Essen. I was going to pick up for someone else, but then I thought my wife and kids will actually like this. And they do. They really do enjoy it. Cascadia.
Cascadia is amazing.
Okay, yep.
It's the Kennerspiel the R winner for this year or last year?
Last year, wasn't it?
Spiel the R.
Last.
No, Spiel.
Last year.
Not
Oh,
Kennerspiel.
no, it was. It was
Spiel.
this year.
It was the
Yeah.
Spiel winner.
Yeah, because Living Forest won the other one.
They won. Yeah, Living Forest won the Kennerspiel. Cascadia won the Spiel. Two great games, but Cascadia, freaking great game.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to play it around. Was it Simon's copy?
Yeah, Simon's copy we played together.
Yeah, we tried that. You guys showed me that before we recorded an episode for that, and I just really got into it. It's definitely not my sort of theme.
No.
Because, parks, fucking, who cares about that? Who cares about animals and shit? But then I said the exact same thing about Wingspan, and I really love that game. So, but easy to play, easy to score. My 8-year-old friggin' loves this game. My wife is really not into board games, but she wants to crack that anytime we can because, again,
really?
It's just an easy play. And it's not just because it's an easy play, but she loves the scoring aspect of it. Always wants to try the different scoring cards and whatnot we do. It's not like the same thing every time.
Sets or something.
Yeah, exactly. Plus, we picked up the promo cards for Essence, so there's even more in there as well. So we just go out there. I really look forward to bringing my parents into it. I think they will really love that game as well. My brother-in-law is competitive as fuck, and I know he'll absolutely love that as well. So I can't wait. I know it's only 4 players, but I think it's a cracking game. I know I wasn't expecting it to be, so it's a big shocker. It probably is one of my games of the year as well, to be honest.
It's a wonderful pick, mate. Like I said, another worthy award winner. This is a brilliant design by Randy Flynn. And again, set in sort of the American heartland, right? So it's American wildlife. And it's just fantastic. It's so simple. It's a beautiful thing. Tile laying.
Yeah.
You create your own. It's kind of serene, fairly relaxing. Brilliant game, Cascadia. I think that's a worthy pick, mate. And you've got that sort of, I suppose I call it the grandparents factor. Something you can maybe do with Azul or other games like that. Which you really easily get to the table with people that, if they're not really super into board games, but they do kind of like games or card games. This is a nice, easy intro.
Exactly.
It's a freaking great game. Yeah, good one.
So yeah, nice and easy, and Cascadia. Let's go to number 2's, guys.
Number 2.
Nearly there, sir. Bring it home.
Sorry,
if only this was on video.
You caught me abusing Jason just for a second. I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry guys, you can't see it, but Wayne's doing the movement actions to the number 2 guy. Number 2. Mind you, do you remember when we proper laughed on Meeple Minded because his number 1 guy sounded like he was
Yes, mate.
He'll be making a return soon.
Yes,
mate. That's you and the Pornhub expansion. My number 2 is a very recent game for me, and I took it with me to Austin, Texas, to play with people that, again, aren't really board gamers, but they kind of expressed an interest. Go on. What was that? What you doing?
Secret Hitler.
No, I did not take that. But it came out this year and is called Long Shot, the dice game.
Oh,
yes.
Long Shot.
Yes.
Have you played this yet?
I've not played it, but it's
freaking great. So, Long Shot, the dice game will play, I want to say 7 players at least, if not 8. And oh my God, what a blast this game is. It's a fucking riot. It's essentially like a gambling-ish game. Yeah. It's a day at the races. That's the thing.
Okay.
Day at the races. Mm-hmm. You've got these 8 wooden horses and you've got this tiny little racetrack. and the horses will go around the racetrack. And then you've got your own little, I suppose, betting board, right? Your little player board, which is also like a roll and write thing. So it's like a little erasable marker as well. And quite simply on your turn, you just roll 2 dice, and the dice will have a colour and a number. And you're going to move that matching colour horse that many spaces. So you'll move the red horse 3 spaces, for example, if that's what you rolled. However, all of the horses also will move other horses depending on their odds. So the favourite horse, the one that's like most likely to win, which is set by the cards, will move itself, and maybe it'll move whenever the favourite horse moves, it'll move another horse. Whenever the least favourite horse moves, it won't move any others, it'll only move itself. And there's a bunch of different things that you can do on your turn. Once you've rolled those dice, you can mark something off on your little betting player board to improve one of the horses in some way. Maybe when the favourite horse moves, you want horse 3 to move. Or maybe when the favourite horse moves, you want it to move itself again. And there's little bonuses that you can unlock. You can get more cash. You can bet on the horses. And obviously, if you bet more, you'll win more. Mm-hmm. And eventually, when you get enough money, you can buy a horse outright. And then you'll get winnings if that horse comes first, second, or third.
Okay.
It's freaking awesome.
Pretty good.
And here's the thing. You get this amazing little bit of groupthink as you're rolling the dice and you're encouraging some horses along. And then some other people might bet really heavily on the horse that you own. And then there's a guy over there that's like, I didn't bet any money on that. I bet like loads of money on this other horse. And then they'll maybe do something on their little player board which will move your horse back a few spaces. So there's some really great competitive groupthink that gets done. It's a riot, mate. It's an absolute riot. I took it to the pub in Austin and it played on the pub table, and people like standing up like, oh my God, let's go.
No way.
My horse is going to win. And it's brilliant. It's a really exciting gambling game. It's a weird combination of roll and write and racing game. It's freaking great.
Sounds like the betting system for Downforce.
Kind of. Yeah, you're betting on horses, but you can manipulate the horses way more, and with dice as opposed to cards.
Nice.
That's a game that when I saw it, I was like, I really want to get this game, get good at it, take it to a betting shop, and then fleece a load of people.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's one way of doing it.
But this is like, if you've got grandparents that like the horses or whatever, or parents that like the horses, mate, this is that sort of theme, and it'll play again. A bunch of people, 7 or 8 players.
Nice. So it's quite easy to play then.
Easy to play. It's relatively simple, man. It's about a 1.9, I think, on BGG. Yeah. If you care about weight ratings, it's about there. So it's not heavy. It's about as heavy as Mysterium. So it's easily within the rank of things that I've got here. Probably more complex than something like Codenames or Micro Macro, obviously, because they're super, super simple. But it's definitely not a difficult thing to learn. I introduced 7 or 8 completely new players that had never played it. Taught them in 5 minutes.
Nice.
And then you just go. And it's great fun. Yeah.
Nice.
We need to give that a go, please.
You guys would absolutely love it. It's a blast, mate. Yeah.
I've been wanting to play that game. I think that was a re-implementation of an older game, wasn't it?
It was called Long Shot, but the dice game is the one. It got relatively cheap. I'm going to bring it Monday, because we're not playing King's Dilemma Monday. So if you get, because it will play in 15 minutes or 20 minutes,
I'll find a way.
Dive in.
Yeah, I'll find a way.
Yep, dive in.
Definitely. Nice. Look forward to that. Okay, so I've got another dexterity game, and possibly the simplest game ever. Okay, I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called Cluster with a K.
I've never heard of Cluster.
Okay, so
the magnets.
That's the one.
Yeah, I love that game.
What you get in the box is you get some string and some magnets. That's it. The string creates a loop, and then you take the magnets in the box. I think there's 24 in the box. You divide it amongst the amount of players. First one to have no magnets wins. The idea of the game is you take your magnet on your turn and you have to place it within the circle. If you manage to place it down without it attracting anything to it or being attracted, well done. You've got rid of a magnet.
Yep.
If it attracts a magnet, you then have to take all of
all
those
the pieces that
back.
it attracts.
Okay.
Yeah.
The other thing is there is a nice bit of sort of strategy to it, because while the game starts as a circle with the string, you can, before placing your magnet, manipulate the string. Mm-hmm. So you could maybe use your finger just to pull it out slightly and then place your magnet right on the end. But obviously the risk of doing that is if there's other things attached at the side, it's going to move the magnets. Uh-huh. You could be daring if you want. I'm going to put my magnet right between 3 other magnets. But the other thing is, because they're magnets, obviously they have different repelling things, and there's
One can push it away.
There's
let alone
no
bring it in.
distinguishing features on the magnets
so
at
you
all.
don't know what the magnet's going to do until you put it in there.
Exactly.
Clever.
But you could. There's nothing in the rules that says you can't gently put it down and see which way it's repelling, and you could use the magnet to move other magnets before putting it down.
Sneaky.
Obviously, the other thing you got to be careful of when that happens is if you move that magnet without touching it. Obviously, if it then hits something else, you've still lost. So you've got to take those magnets back. So yeah, it's as simple as first person with no magnets wins. Adults, kids, everyone can play it.
It is a great
Yeah.
game.
Nice
and
It is really, really
Clever
good.
little dexterity game, mate. Like it.
How many times have you made the rope shape of a penis? Be honest.
Amongst adults, almost every time.
Oh my God.
But a great game. I picked it up this year actually as well. Yeah, and attracted a lot of people to it. It is
Classic
simple
little
rope magnets.
Yeah,
Easy, mate.
to
Love
be
it.
honest, mate, I didn't even know you had it.
No, yeah, I do. Yeah.
Really, really
well,
good
what
game.
I have left of it, I'm sure my kids have hidden some of the magnets somewhere. Little shits.
Nice, easy game. It's probably the easiest game to learn
Brilliant.
in the world. So
Nice,
there
mate.
you go.
Nice. My number 2 is a game called Detective Club. Anyone heard of it?
I've
Played
not
it?
heard of this either. Oh my God.
No.
Detective Club is essentially like Dixit.
Okay.
So basically, you have a group of people. Let's say you have 5 people. You have one person that plays as an active player. What they do is they have notepads in front of them equal to the number of players apart from them. So 4 notepads. And they'll look at their cards, and they're all similar artwork to Dixit or
like
Mysterium.
Vague sort of artwork. I see.
Random
Yeah.
pieces of art, which
yeah.
is like, where the fuck do I come up with this stuff?
Yeah.
And they have to think of a keyword, one word, and it could be something like hat
Yeah.
or light or water, whatever, okay?
Yeah.
What they would do is they will write that into 3 of the books, and one will be blank. Give it a shuffle, pass it out to the guys.
Okay.
So what this active player will do, they'll put down the card and just show the artwork. And everyone looks at it to go, okay, I need to try and pull something out similar to that card.
Right.
Anything they can, whether it's the colour, whether it's a figure or a cloud, whatever they can think of that is close to that card, everyone puts down a card. But one person doesn't know what the word is.
Yeah.
So they have to try and figure out what they can do by looking around and try and not make it obvious who that is. The active player put down a second card. Again, something similar to what the word was.
Yeah.
They all put another second card down.
Oh, I see where this
So
is going.
now this goes around the corners and say, Wayne, why did you pick this card? And because this guy is wearing a hat. And if you look very closely on the other card, this insect is also wearing a hat. And they'll go to Jason. Jason will be like, well, it's sunny and he looks like he's wearing a hat, or his shadow looks like he's wearing a hat, but it might not be a hat. Sorry, before we reveal, the active player says what the word is. And then pretty much people have like a little magnifying token. They had to try and figure out who the person was that didn't have the word.
Didn't have the clue, yeah.
Simple as that. They put it on there, and if they've got it right, they win points. If they don't get it right, that person wins points as well as the active player. So the active player needs to try and help out the person that has not got that word because they can earn points. But obviously, everyone's the active player twice. Game over. Whoever's got the most points wins. Brilliant, and it's great how it puts people on the spot. And some of the shit they can come up with. I've come up with some really random stuff that I don't even know how I got away with. A lot of fun. It's attracted a lot of people I know, like family-wise, that have really got to it. I think I even picked up at the comic book shop. It's like 20 quid, something like that.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, it's up
think
to
I remember
7
seeing
to
it
8
in
players.
Nice and easy game. It looks,
Yeah.
that looks fun, mate.
Yeah, so
Sounds
that's
great.
why it's on there, and it's a great family party Christmas game, to be honest. A lot of interaction to it. That's my number 2. Let's get down to the meat and bone. Number 1.
It's number 1.
Take it home, Wayne. What have you got, mate? That's your number 1.
Number 1, I didn't actually, weirdly enough, despite my love for party games, none of the ones on my list are technically party games, except this one.
Ooh.
And I consider this to be the daddy of party games. I think this is one of the best party games I've ever played. Probably the best party game I've ever played. The best party game that I own. And it's called Just One.
Nice.
That's the one I forgot.
No,
That's the one I forgot.
I still need to play this game. I know
One.
of it, but I've never played it.
I've introduced this to people that have immediately bought it.
Yeah.
Like they've played it and gone, this is amazing, I'm buying it. You can play it with, Christ, what was it, 8 people, I think, or 9 people. It's like a ton of people as well, like a big group it'll do.
Yeah.
And it's the most simple conceit, right? And it's one of those games you go, wow, how did no one think of this before? It's so fucking smart. And it's a brilliant, brilliant party game. Very simple. everyone at the table will have like a plastic easel, I guess, like a plastic little folded thing that you can write on in a dry erase marker. One player, and there's a massive stack of cards with and all of the cards have got tons of words on. One player will pick a card, then don't get to look at the words, and they'll put it on the little easel platform thing.
Okay.
And they don't get to look at it, and they'll say word number 3. And all of the words have got a number next to them, and all of the other players that can actually see the words will, okay, word number 3. The word number 3 is, I don't know. Bed, whatever, yeah. So I can't think of words. It's bed. They then will have to write a clue on their easels that is something to do with bed, right? So it could be like sleep or pillow or blankets or whatever it might be. And you might be thinking, Wayne, okay, they just show the person who's guessing, and then they have to try and guess the word bed, right? No. First, they all show each other. So all the players that aren't guessing show each other. And if you wrote the same word as anyone else, that clue is eliminated.
So one of more of the same?
Yeah, one or more of the same,
okay.
That's eliminated. So I'm here, and I have to guess the word bed. I can't see the word bed. Everyone else is writing a clue, like in secret. You can't show anyone else. And then they show each other first, and then suddenly like 4 or 5 easels go down, and I don't get to see those clues. They're gone. And I've got like something really vague left, like stand. God, what even is this? Yeah. Or lamp. Like what? Absolutely phenomenal game, and I've never had a bad game of it. It's gone over a blast with board gamers and with family. Super simple conceit. You can play it over and over again. I took it to a pub with me. I went on a beer crawl. Literally.
Nice.
There were like 7 guys. I just like with half cut at like 3 PM. I was like, "Do you play a board game?" Like, yeah. busted that out. And everyone had a wild time. It's just a great time, mate. It's a really, really smart game. I don't know if it won any awards, but regardless, I think it probably could have done. It's an amazing party game. Really amazing. You pick it up cheap. Great family game. Easy to learn. Super simple to teach. Go pick it up.
Have you ever had an issue where everyone had the same answer, so you couldn't see any of the answers?
Yep.
Yeah?
Yep, you fail, mate. You just freaking fail, mate.
Because they still technically have to guess. Yes. It's like they've got no clues, nothing. So it could be anything.
It could be anything.
So they're usually just
which is why it plays better with more players. You get 6 people around the table, 7 people around the table, and then that's really unlikely to happen. I mean, because everyone,
of course,
just because of the nature of the game, it makes you want to try and think outside the box, right? So if the clue is bed, and I'm trying to write a clue for my buddy to guess, I don't want to write sheets.
You automatically think it's like, well, duvet is
that's an obvious one,
which means someone's going
to write that. So maybe I should. So everyone is thinking the same way. So you get these like weird, obscure clues, and you're kind of hoping someone does write an obvious clue because
I actually played this online on Board Game Arena the other day, and I was gutted because it came up. Stone was the clue.
Stone was the word you have to try and get.
Yes, I put Dwayne. No, rock. Sorry,
the rock.
So I put Dwayne. 4 other people
wrote fucking Dwayne. No way.
So I was like, oh fuck! I thought I was actually being clever there. Like,
what did you say? You've played it. What do you reckon?
I love it. I genuinely.
It's a great party game.
All jokes aside, I genuinely love it. That's why I was like, fuck! I would have put that as my number 5 for the party games. It's like that is actually a decent.
It's a bloody
party game.
It's a brilliant one.
It's one of literally one of only a few party games where I'll actually sit there and go, yeah, I'll play that. That's great fun.
It's still available to get, or
easy? You can get it sold buckets.
I think,
and rightly so.
I think that's even one that made it to the mainstream. So you might even be able to find that in like UK supermarkets as well.
Oh wow, okay.
And you're talking 15, 20 quid.
Yes,
it's not a lot.
You may well do. Repos Productions is the one that you'll find in Europe, in the UK at least. And you'll pick it up super cheap, 15, 20 quid, and cracking game. I think this is my number 1. It's not a board game, so to speak. It's a party game.
It's a damn good picture.
But it is 100% the worthy winner of my number 1 choice for your Christmas family celebrations.
Nice. Just one, guys. Give it a go.
100%. I back that up 100%. If you hadn't have said it, I was actually about to change my number 1 to just one.
Ooh. Isn't that good?
Because I was like, do you know what? No, that needed to be mentioned. But seeing as though you've done it, this one is, I guess, a little bit of a cheat because it wasn't out for last Christmas. It's a new game for this year. I've already mentioned it once on this podcast. but I can see it being played around the world this Christmas, and that is Flamecraft.
Flamecraft, okay, yeah, nice.
It is a nice, lightweight family game that's not boring as fuck. And the theme is fun. You know, you've got those nice little dragons, you know, it's all cutesy and stuff like that. So the adults are going to be in there for the nitty gritty of the game. The kids are going to be there because if you've got the deluxe version, little dinosaur miniatures. There's, look, I've got this nice little wooden stake. There's so much to it. And then the art sells it. It looks
anime sort of style, isn't it?
It is. I mean, I sort of akin it to like Studio Ghibli.
Yes.
Ghibli,
yes.
whatever.
Yeah, Ghibli,
Ghibli, whatever you want to call it. It's very, very similar to that. But you can sort of just imagine it. Use your imagination as like, put some snow on the ground. It looks like a Christmas village. You know, with the artisan bakery selling gingerbread.
Mate, I don't know.
And stuff like that. It's like, you don't even need to imagine it, but you could.
Yeah.
It's like, this is a Christmas game through and through for me.
Well, even regardless of the theme, I think it looks beautiful, right? I haven't played Flamecraft, but we were at Spiel. That thing sold out so quick.
Yeah.
I mean, and it looks like everyone loves it. Everyone's played it, and they really like it.
You will like it. I will make sure you get to play that. Because it's a really, really good game.
I would very much like to play it. I think that's a cracking choice, mate, and I think it's going to sell absolutely like hotcakes.
Yes,
so,
100%.
Right.
Yeah. Nice. All done?
All done.
Oh, okay. Do you remember last year we did an episode called the top 5 games to buy for under £15?
Yes.
Right. So I was going to put this game on here, but I thought, do you know what? If we ever do a Christmas episode, I'm going to save it for this because this is a great time to bring this fucker out. So my number 1 is nasty little game called Say What?
Say What?
Yes.
Now, this game, if you don't know about it at all, is a great game to play with friends, but deadly to play with partners. This can ruin marriages, relationships, everything.
Don't play this.
Yeah. So play it as friends, not with partners. Anyway, Say What is a great little game where you test the limit of how well you know your friends or family. Yep. For example, you will have 5 cards that have a topic on it. For example, Wayne, you would have... Jason will pull out music, board games,
TV shows, video games. Sorry.
Beer, martial arts, and... Kill Switch Engage, whatever, okay? Yeah. Now, we have to go and think to ourselves, we have a cards numbered 1 to 5. What you would rate highest to lowest. 1 being highest, 5 being lowest, yeah? So you will put, we'll turn away, and then you will put down your numbers 1 to 5.
Okay.
Obviously, face down so we can't see, and then obviously Jason will have a turn putting his down, and we'll put ours down. One at a time you flip it over, wherever you get it right, you earn points for it, okay? Mm-hmm. But if you do it with a loved one, for example, like my wife picked wine over our marriage. This is where the game gets super interesting. And you'd be like, wait a minute. And then we'll start to hang about, you like beer more than board games? Since fucking when? You know? And it's so good because you've got... The cards in here are all based on something, so you'll never get the same card twice. So the next one could be something stupid like religion, mathematics, financial stuff and whatnot. It's just brilliant, and it does put your test to the limit of your knowledge of your mates.
That's cool. So you reveal all of the 1 to 5s, the rankings. Mm-hmm. Is the idea to guess whose 1 to 5 is whose?
Yeah, so basically they're all colour coded. So he'll have the blues, and if you got, so you'll put yours over. He says 1. Jason flips over, says 3. Got it wrong.
Right.
And you basically there's like a little board in here with little meeples, and you just add up the score to what you add up to it.
That sounds devastating.
It can go up to 50. It's an essential from Dice Tower as well, which is really good.
Nice.
But you can have a short game that goes up to 15, whatever you want. It plays up to
10.
3 to 10 players. It's a great game. It's £15. You can get any way you want.
Really?
15 quid for this tiny little thing. It's a brilliant game for being in the pub or with your mates or something as well. Yeah. But it's super deadly with your loved ones. You have been warned, guys. Me and my wife have had a few conversations about that wine over marriage. But hey, my number 1.
I'm starting to see her side of things. So
exactly.
I hate wine.
Me too. So my number 1. Say What?
Say What? I see. There's a 2018 release, which is this one. Looking that one up as well. That is another cracking game, mate. Another good, looks hilarious and stupid and a riot, right?
Yes.
Which is kind of what you want.
Yeah, exactly.
Or loads of arguments. That's kind of what you want.
Depending on your drinking stage by then, if you're how drunk you are at the time. Wait a second. Since fucking when? So, no clashes, nothing there, guys.
No,
it's brilliant.
15 completely unique games
Exactly.
for everyone that's listening to go and do a Google and check out. And if you find something you like,
and they're all available, aren't they?
They
I don't think
are.
anything I've picked isn't available.
everything that I've said is available now. It's in print. Yep.
So we'll go to the honourable mentions. Do you have any left at all? Or
I do. My honourable mention is Spyfall. It was the one that I was struggling to put on the list. It's an amazing game. We'll play like 10 people, I think it is, and is a great social deduction game. One of the easiest ones you can possibly teach someone. Spyfall is great. Very simple. Everyone gets a card, and you're either the spy or you'll have a location. And it's the spy's job to work out what the location is. And the game works very simply. You go around in a circle and you ask one question. And it'll be like, Anthony, what's the weather like here? And you might have a location card, you'd be like, and the location might be the beach. Like, but, oh, it's really sunny. The spy doesn't have that card. They have no idea where the fuck they are. So they're like, oh, sunny, where the hell could that be? And then you might ask someone else. You'd be like, oh, Dave over there, you know, what's the ground like? Oh, it's kind of, the ground moves a little bit, this, that, and the other. Then they might ask the spy. They're like, oh, John over there, what are you wearing right now? They'll be like, a suit. Because everyone's like, well, that's the fucking spy. So it's great. So you get this great feeling. If you're the spy, you have this amazing sense of like hyper awareness of what people are saying. You're like, oh, what could that mean? Where could this be? I'll try and you try and answer in a really vague way, especially if you get asked the question first. Like, you're the spy, you've got no clues, no one said anything. They're like, this is the beach. They're like, Wayne, what's the kind of job that keeps everyone safe there? And you're like, it's quite respected, isn't it?
yeah.
It's that guy. Yeah, he's well trained. Anyway, and brilliant game, really, really, really fun.
Spyfall's a great game.
Spyfall is awesome. The other one I haven't played, but I've heard loads about, and it's probably worth googling if you like some of the stuff that we've already mentioned. So Clover.
Yes.
So
again, I'm going to play that now.
similar to something like Just One, where you write clues and you give people guesses and they have to work things out. Very similar in that respect.
I believe So Clover was the evolution of Just One. Same company.
Similar principle. Repos Productions.
Yeah.
Okay. Similar thing then.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, Spyfall, great fun, but quite group dependent. If your family don't like that sort of, social deduction type thing, won't go over well. But if you do, and you like a bit of banter, and it's a riot.
Yeah, Spyfall I had a great one because I've got the DC version of it, right?
Nice.
And there's a location where you're up in space, so you can see the entire galaxy, right?
Yes.
So I said to John, like, John, how's the view from your end? It's pretty shit. It's like, it's totally fucking him. It's totally fucking him. That was one of the best outcomes ever.
We had the one that sticks in my memory is we had the submarine, which is one, and oh my fucking god, that's so good. And I think we said, oh, what can you see out the window? And the spy is like, oh, it's a lovely day. It's you, mate. It's so good.
I love it. It's great.
Classic.
Great game.
What about you, Jace?
I have 4, I guess.
Nice.
Mainly because I've only really just thought of them. So one of them is Zombie Dice.
Yes,
because it's really fucking easy.
Yeah, great game.
Push your luck. Love it. Everyone loves it.
If you did a top 5 games to take to a pub, that's one of them.
Oh yeah,
Zombie Dice, yeah.
100%. Yeah, I would agree with that. I also
Saved up
wrote
season 6.
down
Mate.
Skull.
Yeah, fucking love Skull.
Another great game to take to the pub. Cracking game.
That came in at number 6 for me.
Yeah.
Then I had to put in. It's not the best game in the world, but it is one I got on Kickstarter, and it is actually Christmas themed.
Ooh.
Which was Xmas Pile Up.
Okay.
It's a very, very small. It's a pocket game. It's just a load of meeple Christmas trees, and the objective of the game is just keep piling stuff up. Dexterity game. Pile them up.
Yeah.
Whoever gets the highest before quitting wins.
Nice.
So nice and simple for that one. And I've forgotten what my 4th one was.
We'll call it 3.
We'll call it 3.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Yeah. I think I've got. So I think I'll definitely include Scout. So that was good.
Brilliant little game.
Sky
Scout.
Joe, definitely.
Absolutely
That was a big hit this year with my family when you mentioned
I'm glad
that.
you like that.
Yeah, my brother-in-law bought it straight after he played
Excellent.
it. So that was another one.
Nice.
And of course, the big daddy of all, always is a,
Croc.
always, you know, great time always with that.
I'm
so.
genuinely surprised that wasn't in the list. That's why I didn't
No,
put it
it
in
was
there,
too
'cause I
obvious.
figured you'd do it.
Yeah.
It's an obvious one, but it is also
Yeah.
it's worthy, mate. I mean, Crocodile is amazing, but it's a difficult ask for people to go and buy.
This is it. And the thing is that if I hadn't played Cascadia this year, it probably would have been on the list, in all fairness. But I don't think I have any other mention on that. Would you guys like to do a quick plug for your podcast before we go?
Sure, why not? We are Board Stupid, spelled BOARD. We focus almost entirely on tabletop board games. We sprinkle a little bit of sort of tabletop role playing in there as well, but a lot of our focus is on our We Played series. We play an epic board game, and when we talk about it, we dig deep, as deep as we can, into all of the mechanisms, all of the production, and we give you a rating on it. And we only play awesome games. So if you see an episode, it's probably a good game. So if you like the kind of game that it is, have a listen, and hopefully we can teach you something about it and encourage you either one way or the other to maybe go and do a buy. But you can find us anywhere on any social media. We've got a YouTube channel which is small but growing, and we have some reviews on there. The next one coming is Skate Summer, so look out for that. And wherever you can find your favourite podcasts, look for Board Stupid, spelled BOARD.
Very nice. Very, very professional. Definitely worth a listen as well.
Thank you, mate.
So, yes. I am Jason. I am one of the 2/3 hosts that we have on the Meeple Minded podcast. We put out new episodes every Tuesday, except when we have technical issues.
Yep.
It's happened a bit too much recently for my liking, but there you go. We do basically the same as Board Stupid. We're a bit more, I guess, light-hearted with the way we do things. We will do reviews of literally any game, doesn't matter how shit it is. We will tear it to pieces if we want to. However, some of the games we've been doing this year have been absolute crackers. And we've got more to come. We've got plans now all the way through to March, I believe, if I remember correctly. So, you can find us on all audio streaming. We're on all of the social medias as well, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. We have our own Discord server as well. We are on YouTube, but we don't currently do video content like the Board Stupid guys, which, again, very, very good. You can listen to our audio podcast on there as well. But, Meeple Minded.
Very good podcast. Definitely worth a listen. They're kind of more of a magazine-style show, so you get some great news from there as well. Which is really, really good stuff. Which
Always
is something.
Forget to mention that.
Yeah, we don't really do the news, but you do. That's definitely a good feature. Yeah, I will plug one more thing on the YouTube channel. We do have interviews and stuff with publishers from Spiel and from UKGE, which Ant came with us for Spiel. And do go have a watch of that content, because that's the stuff that we're really proud of. We get the chance to go to speak to some of the people that are involved in the industry, and that's it's interesting stuff what they have to say. So
absolutely, thank you guys for doing that. And
as someone who has an irrational fear of being on camera, if you want to see me on camera, you watch one of your UKGE videos. Is the very rare occasion that I am on camera.
We caught him, pinned him down.
You caught
him
me.
down, made him do it.
Yeah. Talk. Anyway.
But no, thank you guys for doing this episode. Thank you for being on season 5. We hope we can have you back next season for the top 5 pub games, maybe.
Yes, mate. Get me back on. I love chatting with you, and plus I get to play Crocodile. But
that's true. Yeah.
Or we get a little.
We need to smack out that tournament next year, most definitely.
Or we just get to play something after. So anytime. Always a pleasure. Never a chore.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jason, as well.
Always here, mate. Always here for it. Thank you.
So we'll leave it there, guys. If you like what you enjoyed listening to us, follow us on Facebook at the M.T.V.B podcast, or on Instagram at M.T.V.B podcast, on TikTok at M.T.V.B podcast 197, Twitter M.T.V.B podcast 1. In the meantime, guys, I'm Matt Man, followed by
Wayne Thompson from Board Stupid,
and Jason from Meeple Minded.
Guys, thank you very much. Merry Christmas to you all. Good night.
Good night.
Santa's not real.